Good morning. How is everybody? Let me get situated here a little bit. Sorry, guys. Good, happy weekend. It's like the weekend. It's Saturday. Yay. I don't ever know what day it is until I get on here. I'm just setting up my iPad really quick. Make sure the volume's turned down. We were in the chat talking about some stuff today that already. Summer's already going to have to take a Nerf pill. Feel you there. It's one of those mornings. So if you guys haven't been in the chat, we'll have to talk about what we were talking about before we came on live. But welcome to the live. My name is Tanya, or TitaniumBuilt, whichever you want to call me. I don't prefer one over the other. Normally in the chat, if you want to, come into the chat with us, we usually just tell a little bit about ourselves. We're like a family here. I feel like we talk about true crime and a little bit about everything else. So today we'll be going over the Idaho 4 case. We're going to go over the Mad Greek restaurant, Nancy Grace podcast, crazy woman that just came out that's talking on every social platform that'll let her talk. We're going to talk about her. I found a TikTok. We think it's the last one that Zaina might have commented on the night that she passed away. Or I'm sorry, she was killed. She didn't pass away. She was killed. But, sometimes YouTube's a stricklers with the words that we have to use. So, yes, this is a safe space. Safe space. You haven't missed anything yet, Isabel. Good morning, Terry. Also, I have it on subscriber only mode. It's just for the bots and stuff like that through the chat on a weekend. It just makes it a lot easier on your person here. I am the mod and the creator for now, which I like it that way. And then whenever we get super huge and I can't handle life, then I'm going to be throwing wrenches left and right. So if you could like the video as you come in, it does help the video get pushed out into the algorithm. That way more people will come in and enjoy the video. And I have this like on the back of my chair. I don't like stuff like in the background like that. So we're just going to move that. Aesthetically pleasing, Also, if you were on the live yesterday, I'm trying to get a Nancy Grace cardboard cutout. I would love that. So I wrote a company to request it, and they haven't got back to me yet. So I'm hoping by Monday they will, because I really need that now. Now that I said it, I need it. It's not like a want, it's a necessity at this point. Oh, well, thank you. Look, Kelly D. Look at your little curl, and your hair is so pretty. Hello, everybody. Who knows what's true or not? Oh yeah, I was like seeing over here. Okay. So what is that woman's name that came out? I don't. Oh wait, her name is. I just had it because it was on the girl's phone. Can somebody tell me who is Summer? Who was the woman that we were talking about a minute ago? I forget her name. I could go to the video, but Kim. Yeah, Kim. Thank you, LivCom. Thank you, Detective Juan. Yeah. So. People are going to come out of the woodwork. Okay, so basically, this is my theory on this. She's literally, if you don't know the Kylie Rodney case, then you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But if you know the case, this is the Mogen of the Kylie Rodney case. You know Mogen that came out during Kylie Rodney? She was a friend of a mom of a friend or something, of a friend of a friend. And she came out and she talked on all these podcasts, and she went on all these different things, and she's still talking about it. She's still talking about it. For anybody that'll listen to her talk about it, she'll talk about something. She's never had any receipts, if that's what you guys like to call it here on YouTube, receipts or proof or evidence or any of that to back up any of her claims that she's ever said. And then, so this is now Kim. So now we have the Kim. She's the Mogen of the Idaho 4. So she's came out, Kim. The other day we actually went over this because I saw her go on the Drunk Turkey show, and I didn't even follow Drunk Turkey, but I saw that clip, and I was like, what? So I was taking notes on my phone because that's what I do. I take notes. Some of them are really big, but So I went over my notes with you guys over that whole thing. So this lady came out. She's blaming everybody but Bryan. It seems like to me it does. She's blaming Greek Row. She's blaming the frat house. She's like, I mean, she's blaming Hunter. She's blaming Moscow PD. She's blaming a lot of people. So from the other day from the Drunk Turkey show, the first thing I observed about this was the Adderall. Yep, there's Summer goes. So look, if you can, I'll show you my phone. It says, first off, I'm going to start by saying I don't know how much Adderall this woman took today, but she wouldn't even let them talk. She kept going and going and going. I should just bring up my notes. See if I can share that with you. Because, I mean, I don't know if they might not sound right. They might sound like, you guys might be like, what? But, because I was writing them really fast. But let me see if it'll let me. Okay. Let me just move it so I can, okay, so I can see. Well, you can kind of read it, but it says she stated, I'll just put my phone like over here. So that way I can read the notes too. But it says that she stated that Dylan saw 3 people when she opened the door. And then this is just, oh yeah. And then the creator, he said that he's never called anybody back before, because I don't know Drunk Turkey, but he said in all of his years of doing YouTube, he's never called a caller back before. But this one, he called her back. So what was it? That's suspicious to me. What was it that she had said that made him call her back out of all people? I'm just going to go over this on my phone, but, cause it's easier, but she said that, this is over Moscow's head. She's also said that, it's over the FBI and the Idaho State Police's heads as well. Let me see. It's just easier if I read it on my phone. I don't know. She just has I don't know. She just said it was a lot. It was just too much to even go over it. She said it was a trap house. I don't know if she knows what a trap house is, but, no. No. Normally, you don't live in your trap houses. That's why they're trap houses. It's so crazy. Do we even use hard drives anymore, Kim? I know, right? So she had no receipts, no proof, and all it would have taken for her to prove anything would have been a screenshot of her daughter texting her mom that day of the murder saying, "Oh my gosh, Mom, this happened," blah blah blah, and just take a screenshot of that at least, because her daughter isn't coming forward. I don't know. So then today, I watched Chronicles of Olivia again. What else was she saying? She said that it was, she said she wasn't going to judge. That was towards the end of the conversation. I was like, well, that's all you've been doing. She said she still believes Adam is involved in this. I was just so confused. She said at 10 a.m. her daughter knew. Why the hell didn't her or her daughter call the police then at 10 a.m.? Explain that one to me, Kim. I hope Kim comes on our chat today. Everybody like this video. That way it'll get sent into the algorithm, that just in case Kim's out there watching, listening. I would love to talk to you, Kim. I really would. I have a lot of questions, And I always feel like, I don't know. Do we want to believe, do we believe a cell phone that just says Kim WSU on it? I don't know. Hey, Tater Tot. Hey, everybody. Kim is a weirdo. I'm trying to go back up in the chat a little bit. Oh, she did. Oh, so I noticed last night on Olivia and live on DRS/Lena, she stopped using Trap House. So is Lena, is Lena saying it was a Trap House too? Because I don't follow her channel. You're here and you're still pregnant. No baby yet, huh? Man, girl, how long? This has got to be the longest labor. Let me know how long it's been since you've been in labor, Nicole Marie, because it seems like it's been a while, like a few days. Oh, good morning. Doing the dishes and listening. What was that one movie? Now that you said that, what was it? It was like that movie with the with Joshua. I forget, but it was like he was in a like he was like I don't know. He went to college, and he got into some sort of like dark underground thing. Was that the same movie? Might be. She said on one with DTS, her daughter knew at 8 a.m., then changed it to 10 a.m. Good catch. I didn't catch that. See, that's when before I came on the live, I walked out to Vincent. I told my boyfriend, I said, I have a smart chat. I said, and he was like, what do you mean? I said, these people are not deterred. Like, you know, some chats or like some people, like they hear something and they just, I just didn't see anything that made me go, oh my gosh, I feel like she's being really honest. She said that there were guys there when this happened. So you're saying to me that there were other men in this house when this went down and these other men just hid out and didn't try to help a fellow like guy, like Ethan, you know what I mean? Like, or girl, women, 3 women. I don't buy that. She said the roommates heard it all, that the roommates were both on the first floor, so that Dylan and Bethany were both on the first floor. But we know that Dylan moved her room up to the second floor because there's pictures of her items in the bedroom with her on social media in the background, in the picture. It's like, you know, it's like those things you can debunk like right away. I just was like, I don't know. I want to go to Scotland. We need to go visit Isabel. And I want to visit everybody, but I want to visit Nicole Marie over in Australia. Australia. You guys live in like all the cool places. I'm in Ohio, guys. I'm in Ohio. But no, I'm gonna have to take some pictures to show you guys because Ohio is very pretty. So yeah, I think that's really all. She just was saying all kinds of stuff. She just would not show any messages or anything about it. So that's what just got me shook because, you know, it's going to be all over the place. She'll probably be on the news next. Oh, so the channel was Chronicles of Olivia. So she went on 2 different channels. She went on the I think just 2. The Drunk Turkey show, and she did like a call-in. Well, he had missed her phone call, basically. So she left a voicemail. I guess you can make like I don't know, leave a voicemail on one of those call-in shows. I don't know. So then he calls her back. He said he never called anyone back before, but he's going to call her back. Calls her back, and she gives him a plethora of all this information that she has. But her kids don't go to the school. Her kids go to like Washington, I think. And all the stuff she's saying can be debunked within a matter of seconds. It's mostly speculation, but she says it like it's factual. And that's where the problem kind of comes in. Because it's like, she just wants attention, I guess. You are so right, Mal. You're so right. I just saw it today and I was like, you know, it just got under my skin. So when I got on here and other people were talking about it, I was like, okay, we're all on the same page. Y'all are smarty pantses. One is a son and I thought one is a daughter of OU. Okay, so maybe the daughter does go there. Robin's Nest said one is son, WSU, and then she thought one was the daughter, University of Idaho. Because let's say I heard her talk about a son later on. I was like, oh, wait, where did that come from? Kim lost it. Kim took too many Addies this morning before she went on that show. Like that was the first thing I was like on my phone. I was like, oh my Lord Jesus. I hear the lady hours ago. You're right. She a little crazy. She was a little crazy. Oh yeah, let me paste this in there. Oh, not this. That's like way too much. I'm going to find it really quick. That way, sorry, I usually have this up and I didn't today. And then we'll get into what we're getting into. How's everybody's weekend so far? I know we just started the weekend, but heck, today I'll have to tell you, we are doing our giveaway also. So let me tell you about that in just a second. if you'd like to join the channel membership, I'm going to put it in the chat, and then I'll write up a little thing about it later. Let's go backwards. So now that we are done with talking about Kim, we can still talk about Kim, but that's who we were talking about. We were just, if you're just now joining us, we were talking about Kim. She's a lady that kind of came out over a different podcast. She's called everybody. She's called every like YouTube, like she's been on YouTube. She's talked to the cops. She's called the FBI. She knows so much about this investigation, but yet she has no proof of anything. So we were just kind of discussing that in the beginning and just saying hello. So now back to the best part about today is the contest. Tell you guys about the contest. So today we're going to do a cash draw. It's like a cash giveaway. I'm going to either like I can just send it to an account of yours. We'll figure that out later. We'll figure out those details out later because some of you guys live overseas. So I want to make sure that you can get it as soon as possible. And I don't want to like send it in the mail because that'd be kind of craziness. But so basically all you have to do is just go over to my channel, you know, just not join. I saw someone join the membership, but just like the video that is under 5,000 subscribers. And I'll actually just show it to you. At Magneta, is that right? I know I'm saying that wrong. Trauma. I like the name. Thank you for becoming a member. And I love that you look happy. I love your person. I love that you have a person. Because some people don't show their face, you know? Everybody, change it to your face. I'm just kidding. I do. I love that. She has a drink in her hand. Oh, love and life. Thank you for becoming a member. It is a really good club to be in. I promise. I'm actually just going to show you because I feel like showing you is better than me sometimes speaking it. If you go over to my page, because today is the last day, you know, because we're going to do the giveaway tonight. If you just go over to my main page here, go down to giveaway. So just 5,000 subscribers / Titan giveaway. Just click on that. It'll explain it to a T how to, you know, put your name into the giveaway. You just hashtag giveaway under one of our videos from one of our lives from last week. Pretty easy. Mel, I was thinking that was a dog. I wanted to see. Oh, you have a cute doggy. Oh, that's cute. Some people are more, they rather just, you know, have their animal or something, and that's fine. Perfectly fine. I remember when I worked in a boutique, when I worked at a boutique, when we wore masks, like I was waiting for the day to take the mask off so I could finally meet my people. Because it was a brand new boutique, so it was brand new people. And it was a brand new clientele. So it was crazy. But then I ended up leaving before I had that chance. She said, I've been listening, and this morning, this is what done it for me. I'm so done. I am a member of the 3 other channels, which I will be canceling, and you are my number 1. Aw, you only speak truth. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, no, I was excited when I came in and all you guys had the same like mindset as me. I was like, oh, my people are smart. Because people run off on tangents. And I'll give you an example. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me say that first. I do have a boutique, and let me put the banner down there because I always forget. And I do have a code for you guys. So the shirt that I'm wearing actually is from my boutique today. I don't know if you can see it. Let me make me bigger. And then let me take the comment off. But so I have these little graphic tees. This one here, it says, let it be. It's super cute. Here, I can put that camera down a little bit. Oh, maybe. But it just says, let it be. It's a little flower. It's a little poppy flower. My boutique name is Poppy and Ari. Poppy and Ari Boutique. Yeah. So I worked at a boutique. I worked at a straight sizing boutique for a year. And it was beautiful, and it had like greenery, and it was just over the top beautiful. And then I went over from that boutique to a curvy girl. So curvier women from size, which I don't think this is curvy, so don't judge me. This was the company. Size 14 to like 26 or something. So a boutique, Lipcom, good question. A boutique is a small like, it could be any kind of thing, but mine's a clothing boutique, clothing, home decor, stuff like that. It's a smaller store. So it's like a more personal store. Normally you don't have regular name brands as in like Ralph Lauren or whatever that may be, or like, that Macy's and stuff carries. It'll be more independent brands. Like like this shirt here, I don't mind telling my brands. A lot of boutiques don't like to really tell their brands. This is Canvas tees. They're really good tees. They're really good quality, super long. You can wear this thing with damn near leggings. It's so long because it'll cover your butt. But yeah, do I create my own? I don't. We're not even going to get into today's case coverage because we're just going to be talking about boutiques, but it's okay. We'll talk about it for a little bit, huh? No, I don't create my own clothes. I thought about that, but I'm not that crafty, y'all. So what would happen would be Vincent would be doing it. That's exactly how things go on. But that's exactly how that happens in our house because I have one eye. So it would be off, like, center or something. But no, but I know people that do. They buy Cricuts and they'll or press machines or whatever it may be. Everyone's talking about their dogs. Oh, that's good. Canvas tees are so good. See, Summer knows. I actually have 3 right now in my boutique, and then I have like some that I had like a Facebook page, and it was like consignment, which was like my old boutique clothes because I would buy so much that I would wear it once and I never wanted to wear it again. So I was selling my own when I first started, but now I'm starting to get more traction because being on YouTube and stuff. So I'll be putting in a lot more orders. I put in an order, excuse me, I put in an order they were crew neck graphic like sweaters, like sweatshirts, and I was like so excited about it. And they came in and I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way that they looked, so I was like, I'm particular. I'm not going to sell something unless it's perfect. So I didn't find them perfect, so I don't have them. Yeah, it's like but yeah, it's like a little smaller shop. I'm more about like personal service, customer service. Even though I'm online only, I still can help people with sizing and everything, strictly just being online. I got a good eye. Oh, that's probably a cute little dog, a Morkie. Do I sell? No, I don't, but I want to. I don't sell any babies or kids clothes yet, but I want to really, really bad. They're the cutest. We actually were at TJ Maxx last night and we went by the baby aisle and I thought of you. I said, oh, look at the baby clothes. I wasn't even thinking like for myself. I was thinking for you. I was like, these are cute. So, speaking of cute, this will be a good thing to lead into our live with. So I wanted to share this with you guys. And then also don't forget, I'm going to take the banner off, but yeah, so my boutique is poppyandari.com. If you use the promo code YouTube capitalized 20, you'll get 20% off your order. And then I'll switch that banner back over. Her name's Miss Monroe. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I love that. So I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but I saw this yesterday and I thought it was really, really cute. So basically this is, I don't think there's music, but this is Madison. Maddie's a boyfriend and he did like a tribute to her. And so this is just like the video. It's very small. I don't know why. Sorry. But it's just her and Kaylee. It's just a few seconds. Let me see if I can make this bigger. There's got to be a way. Let me try to get this bigger for you guys. Because that would be like so terrible. I think if I open it. Okay. There we go. Oh, glue. Is it glued? Almond? You're in Columbus? I used to live in Columbus. Crazy. Yep. I used to live in Upper Arlington. Right there. Loved it. But I moved down south. I guess south, southeast, southwest. I don't even know. I don't even know where I'm at. That's funny. Okay, so this was made by this was made by Maddie's boyfriend, Jake, and I thought I would just kind of read it to you because it's very sweet. It's very, very sweet. Terry Lewis is a new Carlisle. That sounds familiar. Yeah, you're gonna cry. Get a tissue because I was just thinking if I read this, I'm probably gonna cry just reading it. And then, like, I don't know why when I was thinking, like, when I read this the first time, like, I was thinking of when we watched Nancy Grace yesterday and her kind of being personal and coming out and kind of telling about her loss and, with a loved one. So, I just thought I thought this was very sweet. I'm just going to check, make sure everything's okay on my phone there. Okay. So it says here, and he made me cry at the vigil. And I don't know if I'm saying visual, right? Visual. But yeah, he made me he made me cry watching him talk. It was so sad. It says, no words can describe the emotions that I'm going through at this time. I miss you so, so, so much. I will forever cherish the adventures that we got to experience together more than you'll ever know. I love you more than anything, Maddie. Never had I ever met a person so unbelievably beautiful inside and out. You light up every place you went with your smile and beauty. The love that you showed me was something I had never experienced before, and I appreciate what we had so much. I always questioned how I got so lucky with a girl like you. You showed me to appreciate the small things in life, talking, singing, dancing, laughing, kissing, expressing our love for one another. Those are just some of the many things that I think of when remembering you. A 6-hour car ride couldn't affect the love we had for each other. I remember always being so excited to see the way your face would light up when I finally got to see you and have you in my arms again. Every time we got together was so much fun, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. You were so ready to take on the world, and you were going to do such amazing things. I was so unbelievably excited for our future and the adventures to come. We had so much to experience. It's hard to picture life without you, but I will remember to keep my head up like you would have want me to. You were my motivation to be the best version of me. And then let me get the other page up. I hate when Twitter does that. It's really sweet. Let me go this way. Okay. I just want to make sure I was like, okay. You were my motivation to be the best version of me. You always pushed me to be more positive, friendly, and loving. And it wasn't just me. You were always a person for me, your friends, and your family to go to for anything they needed, whether it was someone to hug, a shoulder to lean on, or the best advice on any situation. I know that you're still up there watching over me, your family, and your friends. I promise to make you proud from heaven and carry on your values of showing and spreading love to everyone. This is not a goodbye, but a see you soon. I love you so much, Maddie. Rest in paradise, angel. Love, Jake. And then he put the little pink hearts. Oh, I didn't share that last tab with you. Sorry, guys. Thought I did. But that was the end of it. No, I haven't seen those TikToks. I did see another TikTok I was going to show you guys, though. Yeah, no, that's just so sad. Let me see. Let's see what I want to share you next. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, let's do this. Okay. So I don't know if you guys saw this. I saw this on, I think it was Zav Girl's channel. So shout out to her because like I didn't find this video or anything, but it's a video of this girl Madeline Mayer, and if you see like right here, 11/13/22. This was Zaina. Like, so people were just wondering and they're speculating, and I thought I would put it out there. That way you guys could just like know and see it if you haven't seen it yet. But it's just a video of her putting like a hat on. But Zaina did comment on it, and she commented queen on there. So I have like the worst dry elbow, guys. Sorry. Hey, Miss Kelly, you're here. She's here, guys. Sometimes she doesn't get the notifications. So yeah, make sure that everyone double check and make sure you guys are subscribed and you got the notifications on, because I know some people aren't getting them. So I can play the video. I don't know if there's music. I don't think there is because I have it on mute, but it's just like, I guess one of her friends. I don't know. Just wondering when it was like the time, you know what I mean? And the replies weren't, there wasn't nothing. Like, there wasn't nothing important. Zav Girl went through like most of them. And then, so yeah, I don't know what to think about that. Thank you. Yeah, Isabel's right. Everybody hit that like for me, please. That'd be so great. Yeah, if you guys could, as you guys are coming in, if you could hit that like button, that'd be so great. Yeah, Rebecca, you're right. She's taking what her kids told her as facts, and it's not. It's Chinese whispers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's not. And I don't even know if she really even. I don't even know if she really has all this information. Oh, you looked. That's why I put it. That's why I put it on the community tab thing too. I put that we were going live because I was like, some people just don't get it. So that's okay. We've been just in here chit-chatting it up anyway. I'm gonna grab another drink real quick. Your girl's thirsty today. Okie dokie. Me too. I believe the PCA over that mom. Exactly. And like, so I believe Dylan was on the third floor. And she's like, if he would have saw her, he would have killed her and he would have blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you are so sure of everything. I'm like, man. Thank you, ladies, for helping me out. Yeah, make sure you're subscribed. And then, so we are doing, if you're just now joining us, we are doing our giveaway tonight. So make sure that you are, I'm going to go ahead and show you again. You go over to my main page, subscribe, go down to the giveaway video right here. It tells you exactly what to do. You just go to one of the lives and you just hashtag giveaway. I'm going to do a random drawing tonight. It's like a random, drawing thing. So we will do that on tonight's live around, the live is at 8:15, but we'll probably do the drawing around, I don't know, 9 or so. I'm not, or maybe before, maybe a little after, I'm not sure, but we'll do the drawing, and then whoever wins will email me at TitaniumBuilt, and I'll tell you guys all this tonight as well. And then I'll give you guys the instructions on how to make sure that you're legit, I'm legit, you know, you can get your money and all that stuff. Because our first contest was so small, our giveaway was like such a small group that I think it was Miss Linda that won, which I haven't seen Miss Linda in a while. I'm gonna have to ask where, I'm gonna have to find her. I haven't seen her in the last like a week or something, but I think it was Miss Linda that won, and I think I just sent it to her like in a card, and I like wrote it out like thank you or something. But now that we're bigger, it's like, wait, I need help. And plus I did it all on raffle, like I wrote everybody's names on raffle, like little raffle tickets. And I can't do that with 5,000. So our next giveaway after this giveaway will be 10,000 Titans. And we're like, we're getting there already. Literally, we have right now 5768. So we're going to make it there, guys. Okay, so now that all that's out of the way. So yesterday, on yesterday's live, I don't know which way is up when it comes to this case anymore. So y'all let me know what you think about this. We went over this article, you know, that Bryan Kohberger, he visited the restaurant where 2 victims worked at least twice before killings. And I said I didn't believe it. I don't know. I didn't really believe that he would eat at a restaurant if he wasn't going to eat off his aunt's pots and pans. Even if they like cleaned the whole kitchen, I just didn't see him eating there. If anything, I said maybe he would like order the food vegan and then like get a drink and just sit there, but I don't know. That would even be kind of pushing it. So basically, I don't know. Mad Greek came out, the restaurant that the girls worked at. They came out with a statement saying that People magazine got it wrong, that Bryan Kohberger has never been in the restaurant. So they just released the statement. I believe it was like last night. And so I'll read this one to you guys. Have you guys seen this? Yeah, in his turtle jacket. I know, man. That guy, they should just left him in that. They pressed his uniform. Someone bought a brand new circuit machine for that thing, new presser for like the lettering. Oh man, when he came into court, I was like, yep, he's gonna be living in that for a while. So they wanted to make sure they gave him a brand new one because he's gonna need to learn how to wash it. Poor Bryan. Imagine having burger in your name. Hope he wasn't cooked in a pan with the meat. Yeah, right. He probably hated that. Yeah, he initially saw them somewhere and started stalking. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that too. Oh, look at your little person. Oh, it's a little, what is that? A possum with the little possum babies on it. Yes, they said that they said in the beginning he had never been there too, and I trust the owner. So what I was thinking either way, because sometimes when you're serving at a restaurant, like, you might know more people than the owner does. You know what I mean? Like if you're, like the waitress during the morning shift or something, and like the owners aren't there, or in the evening, or, you know, whatever it may be. But I remember them coming out with a statement saying that they didn't believe that he had ever been there. So I feel like it's just another person that wants another 5 minutes of fame. So we got to figure out what we're going to make up now. No, I'm just kidding. We wouldn't make up anything. That would just be terrible. But, you know, if we weren't terrible people, or we were terrible people, you know, we could make up some stuff. And it says on here, and then we'll get to the Nancy Grace podcast after this. It says the news/media should really do their due diligence before running a story with completely fabricated information. This will be my only response to this story from People. It is not true. The person who wants their 5 minutes of fame has now caused a whole bunch of extra work for myself and the investigators. I also have not forbidden employees from speaking to reporters. We all decided collectively to support the families and not share anything that could potentially harm the investigation or cause the families more stress. To all media, reporters, internet sleuths, etc., please allow us to grieve the loss of our friends and coworkers. This has been incredibly hard on us, with our phones ringing off the hook, reporters banging on my door at my private residence, and hunting down employees, as well as showing up constantly at the restaurant. We have not been afforded the time to grieve. Please stop calling, messaging, knocking, and showing up. I personally will not be doing any interviews or entertaining wild accusations at this time. My employees also feel the same. To all others, please don't believe everything you read. If it's not coming from the courts or the police, wait until it does or doesn't before judging. To everyone who has supported myself, my family, and my employees, thank you. Your kind words and support help us get through each day while we navigate these unknown times. Respectfully, Jackie Fisher, Mad Greek. They are tired of it, Miss Kelly. You are correct. They are done. And I would be too. Do you know what I mean? Like, you literally, running a restaurant is hard. And right now, it's really hard because you're not even getting, I feel like, you're as much business as you normally would. Food cost is completely outrageous right now. You need your phone lines to be open for customers, not for YouTube or news or whoever it may be at that day. You know, like calling in there or going in there. Have you seen the inside of that restaurant? I saw a picture of it yesterday. It's like this big. It's one of those like really, it's like a long establishment. It almost looks like one of those old pool halls. Yeah. You changed your name. Let me see. Why is everybody changing their name? This case, when it goes ahead, it's going to trigger a lot of people. I bet. Yeah, Kim, stop calling. Good day. Aw. Oh, you have a new picture. You have a new hair color. I like it, and I love the shirt. People are too nosy. But I ain't gonna lie. I'm one of them people. I'll be out like in the front yard, like watering the grass when it's like winter time, just to hear something, like what's going on? What's happening? I mean, have like some glass up to the wall. Actually, that did happen one time. It was what happened? We were at a company Christmas party, and Vincent got a pretty nice bonus, and a lady had heard, but he didn't even tell anybody about it because like that's not him. He would never do that. But she had heard through the grapevine of something, and she was like telling the owner, like she was yelling at her to say Vincent, and I was like, what? I was in the bathroom. I was like, I was gonna go in there. I was like a little pit bull. I was like, what'd she say? That's so funny. Okay, so they're saying Mad Greek is saying nope. They are saying that they are not going to be doing it. They're not going to be entertaining, calls or people coming into the restaurant. I wonder if I could find a picture of it really quick. Because it's small. So if you have people just coming up in there, like bothering you, let me see. Oh, now I'm hungry. Show the picture. Well, maybe it'll come up. Maybe not. But you can see it like right here. I mean, it's small. Let's see if this will come up. Well, that's not a very good picture. I was trying to like pull one of these up, but you can see it. I think that it looks small to me. You love vegan pizza, Miss Kelly? Not me. I want pepperoni on there, at least some sauce. Put some sauce on there, y'all. I was vegetarian, but that didn't last very long. That was like 3 months of my life. Couldn't do it. Let me see. I think that was all I had to show you. Oh, I almost double clicked out of here, y'all. I think that this is a cute little restaurant, though. Also, if you are just now joining us, hello, hi, welcome. We're talking about the Mad Greek restaurant right now. We're just going over what they came out with a statement. They released a statement after People Magazine came out with a statement. And I really do trust People Magazine usually. Like, I trust what they come out with. But People Magazine came out with a report yesterday stating that the Mad Greek had seen, that Bryan Kohberger had ate at the Mad Greek restaurant on a couple occasions. The owners had come out and had said previously that he had never been there. So then they came out with a statement again yesterday, backing up their saying, no, he has not been here, saying it again. And please leave us alone. So I can understand that. Why you'd want to, want that to be left alone. So I didn't realize when we did a video live, I think it was yesterday morning. Was it yesterday morning or the morning before live? One of the lives, we talked about, the Instagram, how Bryan Kohberger had maybe had stalked the victims on Instagram because he was following the three girls on there. So I didn't realize that Nancy Grace had done a podcast, or I would have played that along with that live. We would have watched it all at the same time. So we'll watch it today. But it just says, Disturbing posts credited to Bryan Kohberger have been revealed in investigation by the New York Times. Of the accused killer's social post uncovers chilling comments he made as a teenager about his mental health. In one 2011 post, a then 17-year-old Kohberger wrote on the forum for people with a condition called visual snow, "Am I the only one who experienced depression, crazy thoughts, no emotion, delusions, or of grandeur?" He reportedly wrote. Kohberger also writes that he felt that he can do whatever I want with little remorse. Wow. Bet that's not going to play very good in his favor when we go to court. Also, if you are just now joining, we are getting ready to watch the Nancy Grace podcast. If you guys could just give this video a big thumbs up, that way it does get sent out to the algorithm. That way more people can enjoy it and they can come in and they can chat. It is subscriber only mode in the chat, but you only have to be a subscriber for like a second. Then you can always unsubscribe if you decide this isn't the channel for you. It just helps with the bots and all of that stuff. Hello. Let's see. I was going to read some of these. Oh, it's someone's birthday. Is it Ariella? Ariella? I'm probably saying all these names wrong, but happy birthday. Happy birthday. 9 years old. Oh my gosh. One more year, double digits. I remember turning like 10. I remember that. I was like, I'm older. Man, I wish. Now, huh? So, okay, I will go ahead and play this. Summer said, I hope he likes dry peanut butter. That's so funny. Yeah, he's not going to be eating much. Even commissary. Even if you get commissary and you get food to you, you're not, there's no vegan option. There's no tofu in prison. Like, sorry. But, I mean, and so this is my next question to you guys. Do you think, because I can't wrap my head around this process, do you think that he wanted to get caught? Do you think this is all part of his plan? Like he has a mad plan and this is part of it? Like that he planned to get caught? Because I don't think that any criminal plans on getting caught. Like you think about it, like, yeah, if I go do these murders, I'm going to go to prison for the rest of my life. That sounds like fun. Let's do it. Like, I can't wrap my head around that. I just don't know. Yeah, no, the food truck hoodie guy, I looked at him too. The first one, the night we looked at that video, I said, he does go right. But I was like, well, something's off about this dude, guys. I thought it too. And we apologize for that because, but I was always on Jack's side and stuff with him. And like, I just felt so bad for him like the whole time. So I'm really glad that they have somebody in custody. And I'm glad it was before like the new year. I'm just glad it all kind of, wish it would have happened before it did. Vivian said, no, I don't think he planned to get caught, but when you're consumed by hate, you lose your focus. You're exactly right. And I think that's probably what happened to him too. And I think that's what happened. I mean, I think that's really what happened the whole night. Like when he went down with, so this is my other thing. So if it was Mad Greek involved, so let's say it was the Mad Greek and Zaina and Maddie work at the Mad Greek. This was my other question. If he was there and he saw him there, could it have set him off? Like, say he went up to the third floor, he came into the third floor and he went to go to Maddie's room just for Maddie, not knowing Kaylee was there because Kaylee wasn't supposed to be there that weekend and she was in bed with Maddie. So maybe that's why, she was there, like she was, kind of killed as well. And then when he went down to Zaina's room, Ethan was there. So there was like another person in front of his target. I've just been thinking about those couple of things. So yes, I think so too. I think that he was just going through the motions. And I don't think he even realized he left the sheath behind. I don't even know why you would bring a sheath. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like, I do, but I don't. Isabel, you're probably right. Yeah, could be right. And that's probably what that's probably what cops are doing right now, is just going back and going. They're still collecting evidence right now. They're still collecting as much as they can collect. They're still asking for people. They're still wanting all the tips and all the tricks and all the cameras, and you know what I mean? So that's so funny. Sounds like me. When I'm sitting in this desk, my cat litter is all the way around the corner in the laundry room. I mean, it's a good, I don't know. It's far. It's far. And I can smell it. I'm like, are you kidding, Rocky? So I understand that. She said she had to go clean the cat litter box. Let me see what Summer say. Or she said, or he wanted to go on with PD, help solve the case, which makes sense of the DNA, and try to be a hero. But honestly, now it's a game for him. Yeah, I think that he did this without the intention of ever getting caught. I think he thought he was not going to get caught, and maybe he could get, he applied to be on the police force, like doing some sort of technical data. Maybe he thought if he got on to the police force, he could maybe destroy the data if there was any. Maybe he thought his charm, it was going to work, but he had to have known he's not charming, right? I mean, the kid never had a good experience with a woman. A woman acted like she was getting physically ill, so he would leave. That's bad. Okay, I'm going to turn this down and play it. And I'm going to try to turn it down so it doesn't blast your ears, but I know that I can't control the volume sometimes with this one, so.
My mom has been kidnapped.
There's going to be a way to find her.
Now, if you...
Mike stops recording. When several teen girls mysteriously vanish, Poppy vows to find them and bring the people responsible to justice. Featuring Academy Award winner Octavia Spencer, Gabrielle Union, and Mekhi Phifer. Truth Be Told. Stream the new season now, exclusively on Apple TV+.
Welcome to mile 12,002. Your dog just locked you out on a cross...
Finally, have we found the link between Bryan Kohberger and his 4 murder victims, according to police? Of course, the state never has to prove motive, but any jury would wonder, why would he target people he had never met? Or had he? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Fox Nation and Sirius XM 111. First of all, take a listen to our friends at Fox 13 Seattle.
David Rose actually asked a retired Seattle police detective about why investigators have not revealed a possible connection between him and the victims.
You never have to know why it happened. You just have to show that it happened. I mean, everybody wants to know why, and the link between this guy and the victims, and maybe it'll come out in the future, but it's not necessary for a successful prosecution.
Well, he's absolutely correct about that. I've got an all-star panel to break down what we know right now. But before I go to Fox senior correspondent Laura Ingle, let me hit Dale Carson, high-profile lawyer out of Jacksonville, and more important to me, he's a former Fed with the FBI, former cop in Miami-Dade, certainly no lack of business there. You can find him at DaleCarsonLaw.com. Dale, the state never has to prove the motive, ever, under the law. But I always try to give the jury a motive or some sort of a connection between the victim and the defendant, because they're looking for that. And if you don't give it to them, I don't mean just anything you can dig up. I mean the motive, the connection. They could go back to the jury room and think, wow, you know what? There's a lot of forensic evidence, but he never even met these people. There's got to be another way to explain why his DNA was on the knife sheath. If you don't give them a motive or a nexus, you're going to have a problem come verdict time.
Well, that's absolutely right, Nancy. You're so right. The idea that humans in a jury panel can convict somebody just based on circumstantial evidence, which we've seen put together in the arrest affidavit, is very difficult for the prosecution. And it's one of the ways the defense attorneys poke holes in that kind of circumstantial case. All you have to do as a defense attorney is present reasonable doubt.
Such as, Sydney, sitting here at the studio, had never even met Dale Carson before her fingerprints turn up at the murder scene. Hey, maybe she was just there for a party earlier. A little chip and dip went down. That doesn't mean she's the killer. Well, of course she is the killer, but one juror could just be the fly in the ointment if you don't give a motive. But again, let me reiterate, state never has to prove motive, but do we finally have a link between Bryan Kohberger, the PhD hopeful in criminology, and the four, and I can only describe them as beautiful young Idaho University students. Take a listen now to our friend Dave Mack at crimeonline.com.
Just 2 weeks before 4 University of Idaho students were murdered last November, Bryan Kohberger sent a series of messages to one of the victims on Instagram. An investigator close to the case tells people in late October, an account authorities believe belonged to Bryan Kohberger sent a greeting to one of the female victims. And when he didn't get a reply, he sent several more messages to her. The source said he slid into one of the girl's DMs several times, but she didn't respond. Basically, it was just him saying, "Hey, how are you?" But he did it again and again and again and never got a reply.
Straight out to Laura Engel joining me. Laura, it sure is an honor and a privilege to have you with us here today on Crime Stories. Laura Engel, senior correspondent, Fox News Channel. Here's the irony, Laura Engel. The girl or girls, or even Ethan, but I think it was one of the girls, may have never known that Kohberger was DMing them, which is, I actually got a question last night on Twitter. What is a DM? It's a direct message. And that means that you can, if you post something on Insta, everybody that follows you is going to see it. But you can direct message. Let's just say I have Laura Engel's Insta. I can DM her, direct message her, and everybody else in the world doesn't see it. So Laura Engel, the girl or girls may not have even seen his messages, his barrage of messages.
That's correct. And of course, this news coming to us from a source that spoke to People magazine about this, but you can only imagine that we are knowing this now because the phone was handed over. The parents, I think, have looked through the phone. I don't know the chain of custody that her phone went through, but it has been revealed now that it looks like there was a message coming from somebody that appeared to be Bryan Kohberger. And you're right, the direct message thing, it happens to me. I have an Instagram, a public one, Laura Engel TV. And if somebody messages me from a post that I make or a great report last night or something, I will see it. But if I'm not following that person, it'll go to this kind of envelope that I forget about. So there's sometimes I'll go, oh yeah, I need to look at that. You need to accept the messages, and there'll be a long string of, random strangers saying things. And sometimes I don't see it. And then you can either accept that message, you can delete that message. Sometimes they're creepy messages, as we all know, being on Instagram. So there is a very big chance that she or he, whichever victim this was, didn't see those messages because there wasn't a reply according to the source.
I've got so many awesome experts. Did you just hear everything Laura Engel just said? She knows every minute detail of this case, and she can deliver it in a way that it all makes sense. Before I go out to digital forensics examiner Giovanni Masucci, Cheryl McCollum, Laura Engel said something that really perked my ears up. And that was, she mentioned chain of custody of the phone. Guys, with me, Cheryl McCollum, a forensics expert and founder of the Cold Case Research Institute. You can find her at coldcasecrimes.org. Oh, and she's a star of a hit new series. It's a podcast called Zone 7. Can you hurry up with some more podcasts, Cheryl? This once a week business is not doing it for me anymore. Cheryl, chain of custody that Laura Engel just said. Really, with all other evidence, you have to have a chain of custody. Here's a good example, Cheryl McCollum. I was prosecuting a serial killer, and I could get him for sure on one murder of a Jane Doe. So I went for that. I left everything else out because it wasn't as strong, and I didn't want to dilute my strong murder case with some very weak evidence in other victims' cases. So I went forward and I had an awesome homicide detective. Well, listen to this. He gets the DNA from the defendant, takes to the crime lab, and then listen to this. You might need to sit down, everybody. About, 3 weeks before trial, I get a call from the crime lab that says, "Who brought this over? It's not signed." I just gave myself chills, which means he did everything right, but he forgot to put the piece of evidence tape over it and sign his name and the date and time, which means it broke the chain. The chain of custody means if you don't have every minute accounted for with a piece of evidence from the time police find it till the time it's presented to a jury, then the chain has been broken and it will not come into evidence. It can't be corroborated. So this is what I did, just the end of that story. I still had time under discovery. I ran, and you recall my personal detective, Ernest Denismith. We ran, we sped in that old county issued Crown Victoria to the Fulton County Jail. I had the defendant pulled out. I stared at him the entire time through a glass wall, and I watched the nurse take his DNA. I watched her put that in a sealed envelope. She gave it to Ernest. He signed it. He came and got in the car with me. Of course, we always fought over who was going to drive. I let him drive because you know how men are, control freaks. I let him drive to the crime lab. We walked it in together and we handed it not just to the receptionist, who's awesome, but to the scientist. We redid the DNA on a rush order in time to hand it over to the defense prior to trial, just in the nick of time. Oh, dear Lord in heaven. Can you even imagine, Cheryl? So
no.
That's why I know. It makes me very anxious to even tell that story. But Laura Ingalls said chain of custody on the phone. But with a phone, Cheryl, do we need the actual phone or can we go into the iCloud?
Well, it's going to be both. I mean, you've got a couple things going on here. Mm-hmm. The phone is going to be paramount for me as far as his phone. Let's start with the accused first. His search.
My mom has been kidnapped. There's got to be a way to find her.
Now, if you...
I don't know how I just did that. I accidentally went all the way back to the beginning. So I had to go up a little bit. Sorry, guys. No, I saw Summer's message and I had to stop the video because I'm like, Kim, if you're listening right now, you leave Nancy alone. Nancy and me are friends. Me and Nancy go back, way back since like OJ. And I'm gonna have to get that cardboard cut out because, guys, me and Nancy do go back. Nancy would tear her up. Nancy would. If you're unfamiliar with Kim, she's a new person into the mix. She's a mother of a couple students that one goes to Washington, one goes to Idaho, University of Idaho. How convenient also is that? She has like no proof or nothing, but she went on a couple of channels, one of them being Chronicles of Olivia. So I mean, and the end of the video, how she's praising Olivia, like, you are better than CNN and News Nation, and or like whatever it was. That's not what she said, but it not verbatim, but it was like something along those lines. And I'm just like, what is going on? So yeah, no, she better leave Nancy alone. Me and Nancy are friends here. Also, I wanted to ask you guys a question too, since I have you guys muted. If you are just now joining us, we are watching the one of the newest Nancy Grace podcasts on the Apple Podcast of the Idaho 4 case. We're talking about the murder suspect Bryan Kohberger, if he in fact did stalk three out of the 5 girls that lived at the house. So that's my question. When it came out, like the Instagram came out that he had liked one of the photos of all the girls. So it said that he had this Instagram account that he was following Zaina, Maddie, and Kaylee. But the picture, I guess one of the pictures that he liked was the picture of all 4 of them. So let me see. it was this picture here. So this is like one of the first pictures I think they took together. So I'm just wondering, why didn't he follow Bethany and Dylan? Like, why? Why not? Did he not know their names? I mean, if this is the picture that he first saw and he liked it, I'm confused on that. Lisa says she does. We're talking about Kim. Yeah, we sent that to you. Like, I pulled out my notes and it was like the first note. I was like, oh my gosh. You saw the article too, Tater Tot? Yeah. So I'm wondering why he didn't follow Bethany or Dylan. Sorry about that, guys. I couldn't get my words there. And if he didn't follow them, maybe that's what saved them. Maybe that's what saved their life that night. I don't know. But I think it's very, very, very strange. It's very strange. I know that when this first happened, we were on a live when he got arrested. We were doing a live, and you all came in the chat and was like, Tanya, dude just got arrested, and I about passed out. We about had to stop the chat. So we looked it up, and that's when, everything just started going haywire. But I remember, I'm not really good at sleuthing, guys. I'm not like that person that gets on Facebook and, looks up everybody's family members and stuff. But I did go on Instagram and I looked up Bryan Kohberger right away just to see if he was following people or if anyone was following him. And I remember there was 3 accounts when I looked. And I think 2 of the accounts looked brand new because one of them, I think, didn't even have like a picture of him. But the one that looked like maybe legit had like 280 some people that were following him, and he was following 1,000 people, and he was following actually the 3 girls, but that could have been a fake account. I don't know. Yeah, like how does she have all this new info if there's a gag order? Exactly. Yeah, people are just coming out of the woodwork, but I don't know how that woman is getting Kim. I don't know how she's getting her information. Me too. I was like, this woman, how much did she take? And Kim, like, I get that milligram level because she was crazy. But she was consistent. I will give her that, though. Okay, so I will give her, or like not consistent. Some of the things, a couple of the things she said, like the 10 o'clock thing, like, well, she actually changed that. So never mind. There was a couple things that were consistent. But other than that, you could keep a couple of your lies straight. All right. So we'll go back to the Nancy Grace podcast. But I just wanted to ask you guys that because I just don't understand how that would have been the picture he liked. And then he wouldn't have liked the other 2 girls. They're all beautiful girls. Why not like all of their Instagrams? Or maybe he was trying to be sneaky and only like 3 of them and like maybe seem like cool. I don't know. I'm trying to get my mindset into a person, that 28-year-old's head, but that's weird because these girls are 21, 20. What would you even want to do with a 20-year-old at 28? You know what I mean? And remember, I kind of rewound it. So let me get us back to our part.
11. First of all, take a listen to our friends at Fox 13 Seattle.
David Rose actually.
I think I'll just probably leave it here because I don't think we were that far in, guys.
They asked a retired Seattle police detective about why investigators have not revealed a possible connection between him and the victims.
You never have to know why it happened. You just have to show that it happened. I mean, everybody wants to know why, and the link between this guy and the victims, and maybe it'll come out in the future, but it's not necessary for a successful prosecution.
Well, he's absolutely correct about that. I've got an all-star panel to break down what we know right now. But before I go to Fox senior correspondent Laura Ingle, let me hit Dale Carson, high-profile lawyer out of Jacksonville, and more important to me, he's a former Fed with the FBI, former cop in Miami-Dade, certainly no lack of business there. You can find him at DaleCarsonLaw.com. Dale, the state never has to prove the motive, ever, under the law. But I always try to give the jury a motive or some sort of a connection between the victim and the defendant, because they're looking for that. And if you don't give it to them, I don't mean just anything you can dig up. I mean the motive, the connection. They could go back to the jury room and think, wow, you know what? There's a lot of forensic evidence, but he never even met these people. There's got to be another way to explain why his DNA was on the knife sheath. If you don't give them a motive or a nexus, you're going to have a problem come verdict time.
Well, that's absolutely right, Nancy. You're so right. The idea that humans in a jury panel can convict somebody just based on circumstantial evidence, which we've seen put together in the arrest affidavit, is very difficult for the prosecution. And it's one of the ways the defense attorneys poke holes in that kind of.
I'm going to pause it for just a second because not like every case, but I'm going to look it up. I'm going to see the percentage. A lot of cases that go to court, that go to trial, that get convictions are based solely on circumstantial evidence alone. Not a lot of people have direct evidence. Not a lot of crime scenes give you that DNA, that blood, or that saliva, or that direct link. I don't understand why when people are like, they only have a circumstantial case, he's going to get off with this. But it's like, no, if they have all the circumstances come to the same conclusion that this guy did it, then the jury should be able to find him guilty.
Of circumstantial case. All you have to do as a defense attorney is present reasonable doubt.
Such as, Sydney, sitting here at the studio, had never even met Dale Carson before her fingerprints turn up at the murder scene. Hey, maybe she was just there for a party earlier. A little chip and dip went down. That doesn't mean she's the killer. Well, of course she is the killer. But one juror could just be the fly in the ointment if you don't give a motive. But again, let me reiterate, state never has to prove motive. But do we finally have a link between Bryan Kohberger, the PhD hopeful in criminology, and the four, and I can only describe them as beautiful young Idaho University students. Take a listen now to our friend Dave Mack at crimeonline.com.
Just 2 weeks before 4 University of Idaho students were murdered last November, Bryan Kohberger sent a series of messages to one of the victims on Instagram. An investigator close to the case tells people in late October, an account authorities believe belonged to Bryan Kohberger sent a greeting to one of the female victims. And when he didn't get a reply, he sent several more messages to her. The source said he slid into one of the girl's DMs several times, but she didn't respond. Basically, it was just him saying, "Hey, how are you?" But he did it again and again and again and never got a reply.
Straight out to Laura Engel joining me. Laura, it sure is an honor and a privilege to have you with us here today on Crime Stories. Laura Engel, senior correspondent, Fox News Channel. Here's the irony, Laura Engel. The girl or girls, or even Ethan, but I think it was one of the girls, may have never known that Kohberger was DMing them, which is, I actually got a question last night on Twitter. What is a DM? It's a direct message. And that means that you can, if you post something on Insta, everybody that follows you is going to see it. But you can direct message. Let's just say I have Laura Engel's Insta. I can DM her, direct message her, and everybody else in the world doesn't see it. So Laura Engel, the girl or girls may not have even seen his messages, his barrage of messages.
That's correct. And of course, this news coming to us from a source that spoke to People magazine about this, but you can only imagine that we are knowing this now because the phone was handed over. The parents, I think, have looked through the phone. I don't know the chain of custody that her phone went through, but it has been revealed now that it looks like there was a message coming from somebody that appeared to be Bryan Kohberger. And you're right, the direct message thing, it happens to me. I have an Instagram, a public one, Laura Engel TV. And if somebody messages me from a post that I make or a great report last night or something, I will see it. But if I'm not following that person, it'll go to this kind of envelope that I forget about. So there's sometimes I'll go, oh yeah, I need to look at that. You need to accept the messages, and there'll be a long string of, random strangers saying things. And sometimes I don't see it. And then you can either accept that message, you can delete that message. Sometimes they're creepy messages, as we all know, being on Instagram. So there is a very big chance that she or he, whichever victim this was, didn't see those messages because there wasn't a reply according to the source.
I've got so many awesome experts. Did you just hear everything Laura Engel just said? She knows every minute detail of this case, and she can deliver it in a way that it all makes sense. Before I go out to digital forensics examiner Giovanni Masucci, Cheryl McCollum, Laura Engel said something that really perked my ears up. And that was, she mentioned chain of custody of the phone. Guys, with me, Cheryl McCollum, a forensics expert and founder of the Cold Case Research Institute. You can find her at coldcasecrimes.org. Oh, and she's a star of a hit new series. It's a podcast called Zone 7. Can you hurry up with some more podcasts, Cheryl? This once a week business is not doing it for me anymore. Cheryl, chain of custody that Laura Engel just said. Really, with all other evidence, you have to have a chain of custody. Here's a good example, Cheryl McCollum. I was prosecuting a serial killer, and I could get him for sure on one murder of a Jane Doe. So I went for that. I left everything else out because it wasn't as strong, and I didn't want to dilute my strong murder case with some very weak evidence in other victims' cases. So I went forward, and I had an awesome homicide detective. Well, listen to this. He gets the DNA from the defendant, takes to the crime lab, and then listen to this. You might need to sit down, everybody. About, 3 weeks before trial, I get a call from the crime lab that says, "Who brought this over? It's not signed." I just gave myself chills, which means he did everything right, but he forgot to put the piece of evidence tape over it and sign his name and the date and time, which means it broke the chain. The chain of custody means if you don't have every minute accounted for with a piece of evidence from the time police find it till the time it's presented to a jury, then the chain has been broken and it will not come into evidence. It can't be corroborated. So this is what I did, just the end of that story. I still had time under discovery. I ran, and you recall my personal detective, Ernest Denismith. We ran, we sped in that old county-issued Crown Victoria to the Fulton County Jail. I had the defendant pulled out. I stared at him the entire time through a glass wall, and I watched the nurse take his DNA. I watched her put that in a sealed envelope. She gave it to Ernest. He signed it. He came and got in the car with me. Of course, we always fought over who was going to drive. I let him drive because you know how men are, control freaks. I let him drive to the crime lab. We walked it in together, and we handed it not just to the...
I just got to point this out because I love Nancy. Like, Nancy, you probably can't say that anymore. Like, like men like that. Because, people are so, on their sensitive train right now, how you can't say, certain things. And Nancy's like, because you know how men are. I don't know. That made me laugh because, Nancy, you got to be more careful with your words. She just cracks me up. It really cracks me up. And then we were talking in the chat, too, about the Kims. So it's a nationwide shortage of Kims. Kim Dunn took all the Kims. Yeah, I can help you. I can try to help you upload your video too. She was on another channel. How's she gonna? I need a call-in channel. How do we do that? How do we set up where you can call in? So, Kim, if you're here, let me know and I'll drop the link. If you're talking about me, I hope so. Then that's cute. Men. Yeah. She said, because you know how men are. That just sounds like, I have a mouth like that. That's something I would say.
receptionist, who's awesome, but 2, the scientist. We redid the DNA on a rush order in time to hand it over to the defense prior to trial, just in the nick of time. Oh, dear Lord in heaven. Can you even imagine, Cheryl? So
No.
that's why I know. It makes me very anxious to even tell that story. But Laura Ingalls said chain of custody on the phone. But with a phone, Cheryl, do we need the actual phone or can we go into the iCloud?
Well, it's going to be both. I mean, you've got a couple things going on here.
Mm-hmm.
The phone is going to be paramount for me as far as his phone. Let's start with the accused first. His searches, his pings, and who he communicated with, whether or not they communicated back. Because we're not talking about what they knew. We're talking about what he knew and what he did. Then when you've got the victim's phones, again, you're going to be able to see any communication between them. And I want to start, even if there is a stalker, because remember, Kaylee told people she had a stalker. Her daddy said she had a stalker. The guy at the vape store said they were talking about her having a stalker. So did she ever text that to anybody? Did she ever say, hey, Maddie, y'all come here, this guy's here again, or I feel like I'm being followed?
Can I just try to get the bus back in the middle of the road? Cheryl McCollum, say you have so much information and that beautiful head of yours. Nice way of saying, I'm talking about him DMing one or more of the 4 victims. And
they're going to be able to tell that from
Laura
his phone.
Ingalls said chain of custody. Giovanni Masucci, senior digital forensic examiner.
Okay, I had to say something really quick. Sorry, whoever watches this on replay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm pausing it so much, but the chat is, you guys are pointing out such good things. So when I was going over my tirade earlier, J. Lord, about that, about the video with Kim from the Chronicles of Olivia, I actually forgot to mention the 8-minute mark. When I just started listening to it, I was like, oh, I forgot this part. So I have it wrote down. So on Chronicles of Olivia, the Kim lady, she says that Hunter was there that day and that Hunter told his parents that Ethan was killed. And she specifically says in Chronicle of Olivia, this Kim lady says, yeah, Ethan's parents said it in an interview. No, they didn't. They've only done like 3 interviews, and I went through them all and listened to them all again before I came on live because I was like, am I out of my damn mind? So no, they didn't. So that lady is just nuts, and yeah, she's just nuts. So if you don't know who we're talking about, after we're done with the live, go check out Chronicles of Olivia. I mean, she's got a video up, and it's entertainment because it's like, seriously, I mean, how would you even know these things? And I don't know. How do you have, you have one student that just happens to go to Washington State. One student just happens to go to Idaho University, where the killer's from and where the victims are from. You just happen to have that too. Like, I don't know. It doesn't jive with me very well. So now back to Nancy.
Giovanni, thank you for being with us. Giovanni,
you're welcome.
I like Cheryl. I want to hand the phone over to the expert, you in court, and say, tell me everything. But what if the chain has been broken, chain of custody? Can't you pull everything down from the iCloud?
Not everything. I want to have the actual phone.
Okay, that's not at all what I wanted you to say, but go ahead. I'm sitting down. I may need to lay down for this. Go ahead, Giovanni.
Okay, you can pull a lot of data. It depends what's being backed up off the phone. So that's where the issue is, because not everybody puts everything in the iCloud.
You know, I never select anything. I just assume everything's going to an iCloud.
No. There's some defaults, but if you want additional data, like your social media, if you want text messages, any type of communications, phone data going to be backed up, you basically have to click that in there under your general section, under services. But yeah, it doesn't all go up there. So the best bet is to have the actual phone. Now, having the phone of the victims, the tools now are so advanced, and they can ingest all these phones at once into a digital intelligence solution. And what it'll do, it will correlate and graph.
Okay, yeah, you're way. I need a war room for this. Okay, my little flow charts are. Now, just slow down just a little bit. Go back like 3 sentences. What with me, Giovanni Masucci, and it sounds like Laura Engel and Cheryl McCollum are correct. We are going to need the actual phone. We're going to have to show the chain. And we're going to have to, if we can't show the chain of custody, we're going to have to show that those DMs were sent before the parents got the phone. Something like that. Okay, go ahead, Giovanni.
Yes, correct. And so they can pull that data from the phone. The forensic tools are sophisticated enough now that they can pull the Instagram data from the victim and then correlate it with the defendant. And so that's going to be important. But I'm sure they're withholding other data as well.
What do you mean by that? You can't just drop a little bomb like that on me. You're sure, and I quote, they're withholding other data as well. What do you mean by that?
You know, I consult the federal government on forensics. And so, you know, they can't reveal all their cards yet. I'm sure because in discovery, they'll all come out because the defense has the right to get whatever's being discovered, and especially in how they're asking for it. And so, you know, typically as they're putting the case together, they're going to have data that they'll have to share eventually. But I'm sure there's more data that they're compiling off both the victim phones and correlating, and also off the defendant's phones. And it's a process.
It is a process, and you've got to hand everything over to the defense under a seminal U.S. Supreme Court case, Brady versus Maryland. I went all the way to the Supreme Court, and bottom line, you have to hand over scientific evidence, all of it, good or bad for the state. That includes DNA, fingerprints, fiber analysis, you name it, plus electronics. Anything that has to be analyzed by a scientist or a technician, fingerprints, the whole shebang, hair evidence, mitochondrial, blah, 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 all has to be handed over. All defendants' statements, all the witnesses you're going to bring on, and possibly a summary of their testimony. Everything you've got that is exculpatory has to be handed over ahead of time. You might as well just give the defense the whole file so it can never be said you withheld anything.
There's no better time than the new year to resolve to protect your identity and finances. Identity thieves can take out loans in your name, take over and drain your banking and investment accounts, and more. It can be dangerously easy to become a victim of identity theft. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect your identity and financial future.
So I'm trying to look in, trying to look it up how to do a call-in show.
That you may miss on your own.
There's like videos on how to do it. So I'm gonna have to figure it out. So we can do a call-in show, see if maybe Kim will call us.
No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock by Norton is the New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. So join today and save up to 25%
Oh no, we're not really judging her for being on that medication because we're all on the same one.
That's lifelock.com/iHeart for 25%
we're all on the same medication
off.
as she's on.
Going back to
we
school as a
just take,
working
I think we
adult
just
doesn't
take
mean
ours
you have
as
to sacrifice
prescribed.
a high-quality education.
Or
Purdue
something.
University,
She just was
ranked as a
very
top 10
fast.
public university in the U.S. by the Wall Street Journal, took its innovative thinking to a new level when it created Purdue Global
wasn't that
for
one
working
2020?
adults. Earn your degree online and advance your career with the name students and employers trust. An accredited university,
I don't remember hearing
Purdue Global
that.
has already awarded more than 1 million credits for prior learning, helping students reach their goals faster. With your college or work experience, you could finish your degree in just 2 years and save nearly half the cost of your bachelor's. Purdue believes every student should have access to the education you need to get ahead, which is why
this is a long commercial, guys.
Purdue Global
I'm trying
offers
to
more than
listen to it in the background.
175 affordable program options.
Hear all that.
You'll learn from faculty members who are industry experts and have the freedom to complete classes online on your schedule.
What I will say though, I
Get
pray
ready
to God
take
that
your
Hunter wasn't
next
there.
Giant leap.
Like,
see how close you are to
I really
finishing your
pray
degree
that he
at
wasn't in
purdueglobal.edu.
that vicinity and he didn't see his brother like that.
Purdueglobal.edu.
I mean,
have you ever been so enthralled
I
with a
couldn't even
podcast
imagine.
it stays with you long after
Couldn't
the
imagine losing
episode
my twin,
ends?
let alone having to
There's
see
an
my
Apple
twin.
TV Plus
No way, Jose.
original series called Truth
So I
Be
pray that
Told.
that's not the case.
Truth Be Told.
If you guys are
follows
just now
Poppy
joining us, we
Scoville,
are watching
a
the
true
Nancy
crime
Grace
host
podcast.
who dives deep
The
into her
title is Murder
stories
Suspect Bryan
even after
Kohberger
her mic
stalks
stops
victims on
recording.
Instagram.
When
If you
several
wouldn't
teen
mind
girls
liking the video
mysteriously
as you guys are
Poppy
coming
vows
in,
to
that would
find
be
them and
excellent.
bring
We
the
have
people
been on our live for about an hour and a half,
responsible
so you have a little bit of
featuring
stuff to catch
Academy
up on.
Award
If
winner
you
Octavia
are just now
Spencer,
joining us,
Gabrielle
like I said, don't
Union,
forget to like
and
the
Mekhi Phifer.
video and please subscribe to the
Truth Be
channel. We'd love to
Told.
have you.
Stream the new season now, exclusively on Apple TV Plus. Crime Stories with Nancy Grace.
So, guys, if this is true, the reports that he had been DMing, direct messaging, one or more of the 4 victims, did he know that this weekend was the weekend that Kelly Gonzalez was coming back to the house? She had already moved out, but she had a new vehicle and she wanted to come back, go to a party that was going to be held that weekend and show her best friend, Maddie, her new car. They've been best friends since 6th grade. Was he following her online? Did he see that she was coming back home? Or had this date, the date of the murders, been long pre-planned by Bryan Kohberger? Take a listen again to our friend Dave Mack at crimeonline.com.
Kaylee Gonzalez had already moved out of the home where she and 3 other students were brutally murdered, but tragically returned to Moscow to visit her best friend that weekend. Kaylee's parents said that the 21-year-old had recently left the student rental property on King Road, Moscow, ahead of her upcoming
Maybe you guys are right. Maybe he was there because Hunter's parents, Hunter and Ethan's parents, I do remember the mom specifically saying that they had 2 of their vehicles still in police custody. But I hope that's not it. To me, I didn't think about Hunter and Ethan having 2 different vehicles. Do you know what I mean? I thought of Ethan having 2 cars. Why would Ethan have 2 cars, Tanya? Well, I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people have 2 cars. My boyfriend has 3. In Ohio, you have usually more than 1. But now that I'm thinking more about it, maybe. Do you guys really think? I hope not. But that would make sense. I mean, that part would if Hunter was there. If he drove his vehicle over there, which I don't know why he wouldn't just walk over there, but that would be their 2 vehicles. Because I do remember Hunter and Ethan's mom, Miss Chapin, I do remember her saying that the police had impounded 2 of their vehicles. So.
Graduation that December, Anna moved to Austin, Texas for a new job at a tech firm. On the weekend of November 12th, she decided to go back to the college town to visit her best friend and show Maddie the Range Rover she had saved up for and bought. The 2 young women had been inseparable since meeting in the 6th grade. They died together in the same bed on the same night.
Oh, man, the way he just said that. So what do you think, Laura Engel? Was it a matter of wrong place, wrong time? Somehow, I don't think so. I think that he had planned this date for a long time.
I mean, there's obviously no way to know exactly, but the fact that she was not supposed to be there, she was obviously, all of the victims were very public with their movements, plans, announcements, partying on their Instagrams. So one could, theorize that Bryan Kohberger might have known that she had left, but is it fair to say that he would know that she was coming back? I don't know if there was a post, because I don't know if her account has been, there seems to be a mimicked account now online of Instagram of her, but I don't know that she ever wrote, I'm going back to Moscow this weekend to show my best friend the car. Like, I don't know if there was that kind of detail, but it could be wrong place, wrong time, or he spotted her that night out at the corner club and this is the night I'm going to do it. And, we just don't know that part. But it is really interesting to think about what was going on in that house. And another thing I want to bring up, and I want to kick this around with everybody here, that there have been specials, right? We all watch each other. We all watch other networks and get tidbits like you're playing of these clips. I watched one of the long form specials this last weekend, and I went back and I watched a part of it 3 times last night to make sure I heard it correctly. There was a network that reported that there was a party on Friday night at that house. That there was a party that went from Friday night into Saturday morning, and that there were reported, according to some kids, maybe up to 150 people in that house the night before the murders. I don't know that I've heard that before, and I don't know if that's correct. Those are what sources had told NBC. I'm wondering if anybody took that, because that...
We went over this yesterday. I'll go over it again. I don't believe that there was a party of 150 people there the night before. They had parties of 10 people there. Like literally you could see through the windows the people that were upstairs. 2 of them were like peeking out at one time in the body cam. The body cam footage, we have 3 different instances of them having a party and the cops being called. Why weren't the cops called this night if there was 150 kids in and out of that house? The cops would have to be called. If the cops were called for them like on a regular Wednesday night, having 10 friends over, I'm sure on a Friday night with 150 kids in the house bumping, as what was that one guy said, the kids were bumping, as they call it. I'm pretty sure that the cops would be called and they would go and they would say, hey guys, turn down the music, because we saw it in 3 different body cam footages. So it's just so crazy. That made me mad too when she said those kids were liars. Like when she was like, they were lying. I'm like, I don't, no, yeah, that made me mad too. She's like very she's speculating, and she's like, but she's very like, I don't know, into her thing. Like she thinks it's her truth, it's her own truth that she's spewing, but it's like everyone needs to know it's her truth. No one's but hers. Yeah, I think throughout the night it could be 150, but still, the cops would have to be called. I would think, because they even had the other house that lived like around the corner, like or behind them, that like they knew people that lived over there. I'm sure that they knew people that lived all around that neighborhood, but they also had people, they didn't live on campus, so they had people that lived there regularly, like, they need to go to bed because they need to wake up in the morning. Yeah, no, I feel like I love the nose thing. I feel like with that one, it's just, 150 people, even a party of 20, 30, 40. I don't know. I mean, I see them having a party, just I don't see it being like that big ever. I don't know. And they were going to go to the game the next day, but they're also young, so they could drink and then go out the next morning and drink again, I'm sure. I'm going to go ahead and play this again.
Jump in.
Well, look, if it's true on social media, if you have friends, they're going to discuss who might show up and who might not show up. And certainly, if you're monitoring the social media connections to these individuals, you're likely to generate a whole bunch of intelligence. I would have loved to have that when I was an FBI agent so that I could listen and see what people are doing. We had to interview hundreds of people to develop that same body of information that now is available in an instant on the internet.
Straight out to Chris McDonough joining me, director of the Cold Case Foundation, former homicide detective. I found him on YouTube. He's the host of The Interview Room. Chris has combed over the area surrounding the crime scene with a fine-tooth comb. Chris, jump in. Tell me what you think about what you're hearing.
Nancy, I think rather than us focusing, as we have been trying to figure out, not necessarily us, but everybody on this case, what a motive is, I think we're overlooking what his signature is. Mm-hmm. And here's what I mean by that. The forensic digital footprint that this guy is leaving is revealing a great deal about his personality. And you want to take this information and then look back as to what this guy has been doing pre-incident. And I do believe it will emerge that this guy has had many weird encounters with women and probably has underlining, fetishes, including potentially a variety of things that he's engaged in over the years.
Chris McDonough, I don't think there's any way you could be more correct. And that is why we have Dr. Bethany Marshall, the only person on the panel that hasn't weighed in yet. But I was saving her for something special. Dr. Bethany, get ready. Take a listen to what our friends at ABC say.
The man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students reportedly made chilling comments about his mental health as a teenager. A person who knows Bryan Kohberger tells ABC News he is extremely confident Kohberger is the author of posts in a forum for people battling visual snow syndrome. Visual snow is a rare disorder that affects sight. Doctors say patients often see what looks like TV static in their vision. Headaches and ringing in the ears is another side effect, along with depression and anxiety.
Some patients might notice this coming on after an event, like a head injury or a really severe infection or illness.
So it's not just the visual snow syndrome chat forum Kohberger participated in. There's something else, Dr. Bethany. I'm coming at you with both guns a-blazing. Take a listen to this New York Times reporter, Nicholas Bogle-Burrows, on our friends over at CNN.
It begins with these posts on a forum website when he's about 16 years old, and he's talking about feeling a range of mental health conditions or problems with his life. He talks about not being able to feel emotions, feeling like he's detached from the world, and that when he hugs his own family, he sees nothing. He also described looking at his life and going through the motions like it's a video game, and he's really hard on himself, saying he feels worthless, that he's a jerk to people in his life, and doesn't feel bad about it afterwards.
Wow. I've got some quotes of what this guy posted, and they are, listen to this, Bethany. I feel like an organic sack of meat. Remember, he's a rabid vegan. I feel like an organic sack of meat with no self-worth. He allegedly wrote on Tapatalk, a mental health forum, and that was at age 16. As I hug my family, I look in their faces, I see nothing. It's like I'm looking at a video game, but less. Nothing I do is enjoyable. I'm blank. I have no opinion. I have no emotion. I have nothing. Can you relate? Well, no. And another, he boasted he could do whatever I want with little remorse. Also, I only used heroin when I was in a deep suicidal state. Hit it.
This backs up and supports what we know about sociopaths. So brain scans of sociopaths reveal that the part of the brain that is responsible for remorse, for attachment, for love, for excitement, these parts of the brain do not light up on brain scans. In fact, even the part of the brain that's responsible for impulse control, the prefrontal cortex, that there's bundling of white material in that part of the brain, meaning it's not very active. So this is a wonderful opportunity to see and to hear a sociopath write about what we already know from brain scans. Now, Nancy, you and I have talked many times about the fact that sociopaths are empty. They have low levels of excitement. They have internal deadness. And that's why they're prone to this thrill-seeking behavior. Now, there's this other post that really grabbed my attention. He explains, he writes, I'm no longer the healthy blonde-haired boy with blue eyes. And in a few years, something about I have darker hair and darker eyes, half the body weight. So he's writing about his perception of himself, and it reminds me of a patient I saw many years ago who was a pedophile. He was later caught, obviously, then taken out of my practice. But he was what we called autoerotic, and that means that his sexual interest was directed back against himself. He would watch himself masturbate in the mirror, and he would cut his hair in the mirror. He would rub oil on himself in the mirror so that sexual excitement was generated by thinking about and
Dr.
watching
Bethany,
himself.
as much as I would like to hear more about your patient rubbing oil on himself, I don't know how we got to that point.
Well, it's just these self-referential texts are weird. I'm no longer the healthy blonde-haired boy with blue eyes.
And how did you extrapolate from that to your pedophile client rubbing oil on himself? You know what? Don't need to know that. Take a listen to our friends at ABC.
In one post in 2011, when Kohberger would have been 17 years old, a question was posed to other people in the Visual Snow forum asking, am I the only one who experiences depression, crazy thoughts, no emotion, delusions of grandeur? The post ends saying he felt that he can do whatever I want with little remorse. In another post in the forum later that year, the same author writes, I simply don't want to live anymore. People say these are supposed to be the years I enjoy and cherish. Well, I can't say I will cherish these days.
Okay, Dr. Bethany, without going back to your pedophile client rubbing oil on himself in the mirror, can you analyze that?
Well, it's not fun to be a sociopath. We think of them as being driven by this lurid need for excitement, and they love all the stalking. And yes, there is fetishized sexual interest in the stalking, but he describes being sociopathic as extremely disturbing. He's removed from the world. He's not attached to other people. So Nancy, we're wired for attachment. That's how we survived as a species. People who are in good mental health care, they love, they have remorse, they attach. And he finds it extremely disturbing to not be attached. And so let's think about his attachment, his weird attachment to these 4 students, and especially to Kaylee. All it takes is a tiny sliver of an interaction to form an obsession between a stalker and a victim.
Could that come from you or Kohberger sending the DMs, direct messages, but never getting a response? Just the thrill of sending them and the anger or the frustration of no response, is that enough of an interaction?
Yeah, it's both theoretical, what I know about stalkers, and what we're beginning to see is that she didn't even respond to him. And all those images out there, it could have just been seeing one beautiful image. Look, we are attached to these victims by looking at the images and reading the story because we're wired for attachment. He attached just by maybe seeing even just a piece of clothing or something. Now, remember what I've said about stalkers so many times on your show, that they have the fantasy or the delusion that there's a complete attachment system between them and the victim, right?
Yeah.
Even though there is.
I'm going to try to make it to where you guys can see the wording as she's talking, but let me know if you guys can see it. I don't know if it'll just be on my side or if it'll be on your side as well. The closed captioning. Okay, yeah, let me see. Let me know if you guys can see it. If not, I tried.
Is none. So every time he was not responded to, the rejection deepened and deepened and deepened, along with the rage and the desire to seek vengeance.
Yeah, it's just on my side. Never mind, guys. I thought it would be helpful.
Or to punish her for not responding to him. It's Laura Ingle, and I just wanted to, as we're talking about these writings and the things that he wrote that are so dramatic, if true, if this is him, remember, he had 2 older sisters, Amanda and Melissa, right?
Yeah.
He grew up with. Amanda is a licensed counselor, and she is a registered behavioral technician. Melissa works in mental health. She's a mental health therapist in New Jersey, working in anxiety, trauma, work stress, emotion regulation, and career counseling. So those are his 2 siblings. And I just wanted to point that out because every time I hear these words that he wrote, allegedly, I keep thinking about, whenever we tell these stories and we talk about these crimes, if only somebody knew, if they monitored him. And I keep thinking about the sisters. It's not their fault, of course, but it's just interesting that's what they do.
It really is. I wonder if he had heard any of that lingo, the psychological lingo from the sisters describing their studies or their jobs. Guys, listen now to our friend Mola Lingi at GMA.
Newly uncovered social media posts painting a clearer picture of who Bryan Kohberger was as a teen, years before he was charged with killing 4 University of Idaho college students. The New York Times first reporting on posts believed to be written by Kohberger between 2009 and 2012, where he shared struggles with mental health and thoughts of suicide. Kohberger writing in 2011, "As I hug my family, I look into their faces, I see nothing. It is like I'm looking at a video game, but less. Kohberger also writing he experienced depression, a constant thought of suicide, crazy thoughts, and delusions of grandeur, saying, I feel no emotion, and along with the depersonalization, I can say and do whatever I want with little remorse.
Reach their goals faster. With that's PurdueGlobal.edu.
Academy Award winner Octavia Spencer, Gabrielle Union, and Mekhi Phifer. Truth Be Told. Stream the new season now, exclusively on Apple TV+.
Big thank you to our partner, Grand Canyon University, and team behind you.
Allegedly posted comments.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace.
I want to go straight back out to Giovanni Masucci, Senior Digital Forensic Examiner. Okay, Giovanni.
Yes.
I've got a ton of things he allegedly posted, comments he made that are really chilling in light of the 4 murders. But how can I corroborate that this is actually him posting these things?
Well, they're going to do requests to these sites, these social media sites, to grab that data. Now, depending on how current the social media posts were.
They're old. Some were when he was 16. Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these sites, they do back up the data. And so law enforcement can request this. People don't realize it, but they do back up the data.
And what does that show? Your IP address? The person that was sending them, which computer they were using?
Email address that's attached to it. Any information that's required by that social media site to set up that account, which could direct right back to Bryan. And so that would correlate information that way. But also anything that he's posted as well, up to current as well. But on the old data, they can pull that data and corroborate it.
Nancy, can I jump in?
Please do.
You mentioned War Room a second ago, and you know that's how you and I would have worked this case. We would put this up on the wall, and one thing that I would want to know is his phone pings and how that correlates with their social media posts. Specifically now, I would want to know when he made these, instant messages, if it's him, when he got no response, did he take a drive over to 1122 King Road? And again, looking at his phone pings. The other things I would want to put up on the wall is what these people are saying. When Kaylee first mentioned she had a stalker, when the vape store, manager, when they went in there and she was talking about the, stalker.
Right.
I would want videotape from the corner club, the last place they were before going to the food truck.
Well, I agree, but I still contend that he had this plan for a very, very long time, hence the at least 12 prior times he had been near the location. Now, here's another thing. We're looking at all his deep, dark secrets that he posted on chat forums, but he can appear to be somewhat normal. Take a listen to our cut 335. Now, this is a neighbor who does not want to be identified. He does not want to go down in history as being friend of Bryan Kohberger's. But this is also a neighbor that is married. And after the neighbor had tried to do a few things with Kohberger, at Kohberger's father's insistence, when Kohberger's dad moved Kohberger to Pullman, 9 miles from the murder scene, the father approached at least one neighbor and said, look, can you be his friend? He has a hard time meeting people, basically setting up a play date for Kohberger. That said, the wife had a sixth sense, and she said, no more. He cannot come back to our place. Do not invite him for dinner. And when asked, she couldn't say why. She just didn't want him around. Now, take a listen to this text Kohberger sent to the friend.
The last message I got, he said, Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. And this was 11 days after.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
So not only did he go straight back to school like nothing was wrong, he was texting neighbors, Happy Thanksgiving, as if everything were perfectly normal. But I want you to hear what criminology professor at Birmingham City University, David Wilson, has to say in our Cut 337.
Criminology, is it the cause or an effect?
And it is simply not pathological to want to study the criminal mind. That's what I do. It would be pathological to want to study the criminal mind to understand something about yourself. And that indeed is what is being argued in the probable cause affidavit that in relation to Bryan Kohberger. I've taught criminology students for about 25 years, and I would say a handful of them have creeped me out.
Okay, I want you to hear more. I don't think it was really laid out that clearly in the probable cause for arrest affidavit, but take a listen to more in our cut 340.
Well, I kind of felt, now this, you might say this is spurious, but because I know the person that's been accused of this murder, had studied under Kathleen Ramsland, who studied the BTK, a serial killer, by the way, who had a background in criminal justice. So there's another serial killer that has a background in criminal justice. He kills 10 people in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. And guess the first target of that man's killing cycle was a group of 4 people, a family of 4, in a house that he had never previously had connections to. So there's a sense in which you've got some eerie echoes going on here.
Cheryl McCollum, isn't it true that Bryan Kohberger also studied under Professor Ramsland?
Yes, absolutely.
What do you know?
I just know he was in several of her classes and studied under her, and I'm certain that they had a working relationship, if nothing else, because the level that he was at in the master's program, I mean, you get to know your students pretty well at that level. They are writing all the time, they're researching all the time, they're discussing topics all the time. So he was there and studying under her, no question about it.
To Laura Ingle, senior correspondent at Fox News Channel, I've been asked by many people whether Kohberger was obsessed with Ted Bundy, because they have a lot of similarities. What, if anything, do you know?
There have been reports of that. Well, obviously, we know that he had been studying what he had been studying for a very long time, 28 years old. In these studies, we have heard classmates say that there was some type of connection in the sense of him being interested in him. And we've heard, of course, the studies under that professor that you just mentioned. But in terms of him writing about having a connection with Ted Bundy and mimicking, wanting to be like him or anything like that, I haven't heard anything like that, but I have heard reports that he was interested in those types of people.
Nancy, if I could jump in about that.
Yes.
Okay, so Bryan Kohberger is playing at being human. He's pretending to be human. He's not human. He doesn't feel human. He uses the word depersonalized. He pulled that out of a textbook somewhere. He's sending, happy Thanksgiving messages to the neighbors who are clearly rejecting him. He's pretending to be sociable. People like this, they don't, I know there's some report that said maybe he even had Asperger's. So this inability to relate to others, I think, just fueled the feeling of rejection and the rage he had. But if there was a connection to Ted Bundy, I would also think that he's trying to locate a sense of himself in the people around him, kind of like, like a 2-year-old at the fair. Am I like the clown? Am I like the monkey? I mean, who am I most like? So that's really what's going on in all these strange behaviors.
Interesting. Well, there's been another theory out there. Guys, you had just been hearing David Wilson, criminology professor, speaking to this morning. There's also another theory floating around that he intentionally left the knife sheath with his DNA on it. I think that is wrong. And the other night when I was driving through the dark, Chris McDonough, you know exactly where it is, his long circuitous route that took him an hour to get home when he reportedly left the crime scene. It's pitch dark. There are no street lights. It's very hard to see. And I've got 20/20 vision. I just wonder along that drive when it hit him, oh my stars, where's the knife sheath?
Yeah, and it is an interesting theory, but I agree with you, Nancy, 100%. It's highly unlikely.
No way. Okay, let's get a vote on that. What about it, Del Carson? You agree with Chris McDonough?
I do. I don't think he intentionally left it there. I think the argument from the defense is that he was never there and somebody else got his fingerprint on it or his DNA on it and left it. That's the argument.
Laura Engel, do you think you left it there on purpose?
That's a great question. I personally don't think he did.
Me either.
But
That's crazy talk.
Just to go back really quickly about Ted Bundy. That is where we're going to that search warrant. Those search warrants, when they are released, when we find out what they found in his apartment, when we find out what the search history was in his computers,
right?
And remember all those conversations from the neighbors. He was up late at night. He was walking around. Was he pacing? Was he thinking? What was he Googling? Those are the types of things that we will learn as we get closer to that probable cause.
I can't wait. I wonder if we'll find out before the preliminary hearing. I certainly hope so. Guys, we wait as the evidence unfolds. Nancy Grace, Crime Story, signing off. Goodbye, friend.
Yeah, so if for the people that didn't know, if you guys are just now joining for the Kim, I did a poll, so everyone's probably like, who's Kim? So Kim basically is a mom. She has a student supposedly that goes to Washington State, and then she has a student that goes to Idaho University, and she's just been going on different channels, and she did a video, like a call-in with Olivia, and did an interview over the phone, just kind of spreading a lot of misinformation. We went over it in the first half of the live. If you guys want to watch that on replay. I was really excited actually when I came into the live this morning and I saw that nobody believed that. We were all on the same page. I felt like we were all kind of like, okay, there was nothing groundbreaking that we didn't already know. I feel like she just wants her voice to be heard, and it's whatever, she was saying it was just bad. I have notes upon notes of stuff that we went over. It was insane. Would Bryan be considered good looking by 70s standards? No. I was born in the 70s, but I say nope. Because my dad was supposedly cool looking back in those days, and I believe it now that I look back. And he wore white t-shirts and some Chuck Taylors, and he always had longer hair, and he always had a bandana around his head. And he had a Ford Mustang convertible, so pretty sure my dad was a lot cooler than Bryan Kohberger. He'd be striking me right now if he could. But don't forget actually to like the video. We are going to do our contest giveaway drawing tonight on our tonight's live. We're going to start our live at 8:15. I'm debating on whether to do an actual Idaho case, or just do an open question and an open Q&A tonight. Maybe I'll just do an open Q&A. We'll have a more relaxed live. We'll just talk, hang out, chill, take some Kims. Maybe we can get Kim to call. That's what we'll do. Okay, open Q&A tonight. And then if we can, maybe I'll have to hashtag Idaho 4 though. I don't want to do that if people then people will be in here and be like, you're not even talking about it. But we're trying to talk about it. So I will try to, I was trying to look it up, how to do YouTube calling. If Dolly Vision can do it, I can do it, right? Oh yeah, try to stay awake, Isabel. Go take a nap. This is going to be good. Kim claims she has 7 children and 7 grandchildren. Whoa. That's a lot. Oh, no, that's okay. I have to go over to your channel and make sure that you're doing okay. Because it goes fast. I'm telling you what. You'll get some subscribers and you'll get your momentum and you'll be like, whoa, how do I do this? How do I do this? It's crazy. Crime Sleuth said you're going to have him mom on here. No, we're trying. We were trying. We've been joking today. We've been trying to get her to come in and join our chat so we could talk to her, because we have some questions and we want some receipts and some proof. And, Summer really wants to talk to her. If we have her, if we get Kim one tonight, then I'm pulling Summer up on panel so Summer can have a talking with her. No, we were just joking around. We said she should come and do a call. We should do a call-in show. I'd have to have like the banner going behind me with the telephone number and stuff. Kim's going to make a fake profile and win that money. she is. I'll have to be like, prove that you're not Kim. That's so funny. Well, I am going to jump off of here. I'm going to go to the home store, like that store called like At Home. I'm looking for a large vase. I want to put a vase back here with some like pampas grass or something. But I was at Home Goods like 3 weeks ago, and they had the perfect glass vase. It was like this tall. I mean, it was huge. $40, $50 or something. I knew I should have got it. And I told Vincent I liked it, and he's like, oh, okay, yeah. And I told him last night we went back to see if they had it, and they didn't have it anymore. And I said, I should have worked you for that. I should have been like, I really want it, because he would have got it for me. But I was like, no, I'm fine. I don't need it. But yeah, so At Home is like heaven. That's where we're going to go. Vincent's going to go with me. So if there's any guys that are listening, that's what girls are happy. That's what makes girls happy. Just take them to Target or the At Home store, or just to a store that they want to like just go and have fun at, and just tell them, be like, pick whatever you'd like to have. Because you know what? Most women, we wouldn't go too crazy if we were told that. You know what I mean? Like if a guy was like, if our guys were like, go ahead, honey, get whatever you'd like. Because then we'd probably be in shock. If I can get him to Hobby Lobby, now that's a win. Yeah, let us know when you get your channel up and running. That's what I thought. I thought that you were married. Okay, when I saw the picture, you're always like, this picture. I know this picture. You are changing your names. Yeah, no, they said they vetted Kim before it went viral, and I believe it all really shameful. Yeah, it was just, yeah, she, they do? Amazon has them? No way. Okay, well, we're going to have to, okay. I didn't know. I looked up the number because we looked it up, and I had to request it. I had to request it. I said, the world needs it. We're ready for it. Okay, I have to get the Nancy cardboard cutout. So let's see if I can find one really quick. That'll be, so I did get my sign, my TitaniumBuilt sign. It's coming like the first or second week of February. So I got that when we hit 5,000 Titans. So now once we hit 5,000 more Titans, I can't find the Nancy Grace one on here. But once we hit 10,000 Titans, I'm going to get me a Nancy Grace cardboard cutout. I'm going to put her behind me. I believe it's time. Of course, I can't find her, but we got like everyone else on here. Hold on, let me make sure this, let me see. Let me just do this. Heck, I don't care. That's fine. Let me see if I can put this up for you. Look at this. I could get me a Bernie one. Oh, this is too good. Too good. Okay, that was just too good. I'm like super excited about the sign too. I'm like really happy about getting that. So if you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so by clicking the subscribe button below. I feel like my hair looks all frizzy today. Also, if you like my shirt, move the mic maybe this way. It does say let it be. It's a cute, I don't know why I don't stand up, but it's a cute little t-shirt. I got it at my boutique. My boutique is Poppy and Ari. I'll put the banner back on the bottom. If you guys ever want to shop my boutique, it's a cute little boutique online. I sell sizing anywhere from 0 to 26. I'm trying to always be expanding and always keep curvy and straight. I want to keep it even Steven, but right now it's kind of hard. Just depends on the clientele. But I do also do private, like I could do like private pics for you guys and stuff like that. Just sign up on the website and all that good stuff. And if you use the promo code YouTube, all capitalized 20, you'll get 20% off on my boutique page. So no one else even gets that. I need to actually post a picture today. I promised myself I would. My apartment is broken up into like weird. It's weird. In one of half of our apartment, we have a bedroom that's converted into like a boutique. Literally, it looks like a boutique. I actually took a video yesterday. Let me see if I can find it. I was taking all kinds of photos and videos because I wanted to actually get some stuff put up. Let me see if you can see it. Oops, it's kind of crooked, but oops. Sorry, I'm like terrible with this. But that's what it looks like. We haven't done the floors yet. So the floors are white. And at the bottom of the banner too, it's called Poppy and Ari. So we just converted our other room into like a little boutique for me to do pictures and stuff like that. Camera's kind of all funky, but and then I did like another little video of like of the other side. I have like candles, home decor, soaps, jewelry, everything but shoes. I need shoes, but I haven't done shoes yet. Yeah, so that's it. And so right now, I was doing that after I quit my boutique job. I started my own boutique. Decided to do that, and then I don't know. I just got like really unmotivated for some reason over there. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Like I think I was like overworking, and then I didn't really take that break I needed. So then I started doing YouTube more in August, and then my YouTube started picking up, and I really just love talking to you guys every day. Like I just love it. And so I just been putting more of my effort over here, but now I'm doing more both. So now my effort's going back into both. So starting yesterday, or actually a few days ago, but really yesterday, I went over there and I revamped everything and revamped myself a little bit. So I carry sizes 0 through 26 right now. But I do want to keep them like, I have like almost even of each, but I have more straight sizing than I do curvier sizing right now. But I do want some, I'll put my email in here. I do want to get more curvier sizes. But I do both. Because I used to work at a straight sizing boutique, and then I went over to a curvy boutique. And the curvy boutique for me just did it. The girls there, the women, I love them. They just... I love them. So yeah, I'm trying to carry like all sizes, and I'm trying to even go up and from there. It's just kind of hard when you're dealing, like, cause I'm dealing with US shipment only, and I get my stuff from California. So, they break them up. Sometimes they break them up weird and funky, and they do it. So you have to probably buy it weird, or I don't know, but they'll do like some sizes will be small through extra large, and you're like, cool. Some will come in, they'll be small through large. And you're like, okay, that's fine. But then some will come in like extra small through medium. And you're like, okay, this is just, I need a large and extra large in here. You know, you got to have these like bigger sizes. I personally like my clothes a little bigger. This shirt's a small that I have on, but I have a large in my closet. Same shirt. So, and I have like a couple other little graphic tees and I got some cute stuff over there. Some sweaters, all the good stuff. I got some like leather looking pants, cans. I saw those are like the best jeans on the planet. I swear by them. So if you got to wear jeans. Yeah, look at that. Thank you. Best YouTube channel and a boutique. Win over here. So yeah. Oh, I've never heard of Pirate Ship. Used Pirate Ship. Maybe Kim will find my boutique and she'll buy something from me. Yeah, he definitely did. So I was just reading that. Oh, thank you. So yeah, so definitely check out my little boutique. It's it's my baby over there, and this is my other baby. So Vincent has no room in this apartment, basically. He has a desk, and that's it. I'm like, do you want more room? He's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm always in here with you guys, so he gets a lot of space. So, okay, so tonight, so the contest I was going to tell you about that really quick before I get off of here. Go to my YouTube page. You will see a video that says 5,000 Titans. Just watch that video. It shows you how to get into the giveaway. We do have a lot of people in the giveaway. I know I've been seeing a lot of the comments, #giveaway. So loving that. We're going to do the drawing tonight live. So we're probably just going to do like maybe like a Q&A tonight. Maybe we'll do like an open call show / Q&A kind of thing. Maybe we can get some people to come up on panel, just hang out and talk. He has the ultimate partner. He does. He just after 7 years, he's just like, whatever, just do what you got to do. No, he's the best. He actually put this together for me. I had my setup over there with the chair, and I never sat at this desk. He bought me this huge desk, and I never sat at it when he bought it for me. I don't know why. I just never did. And so he set this all up for me one night, and I got home and I was like, I love it. So I'm so excited about it now. You've been married 30 years. Oh my Lord. My parents were together 30 years. They were together, all together 30. Married, I don't know how many they were married before they both passed, but they were, two peas in a pod. Actually, they were complete opposites. That's probably what worked for them. And that's what works for me and my boyfriend. Thank you, Tracy. Vincent did it all, really. I picked out the chair, but he got me the chair for my birthday. And then those little tables are just like, we got them from like IKEA back from forever ago. I need to change them out, but they're good for now. And then my old microphone. Yeah, and then my big tree, which is still alive. I don't know. It's doing good. Oh, you guys would be. Oh, I'd be flying everybody. We'd flying everybody over. Come to the United States. 13 years on Valentine's. So ours will be 7 years on the 28th of February. So we have Valentine's Day and then our anniversary. So it's always a good time. Wonder what I should get. I wonder what I should get. I wonder what I should get Vincent. I don't know. I'll have to think of something. I do want to cook him a Japanese dish, like a really good like dinner. So now that we have a lot of more people in the group, because I was going to do it for his birthday, but I feel like we have a really good group of people now. You guys could help me. I could do like a live and we can just cook. But I'm going to jump off of here. I'm going to go to the home store. So you guys have a great day. And I'll be back on at around 8:15 to do our live for tonight. So I love you guys and I will see you guys all this evening. Bye guys.